All right, yeah. So it's the second day, as it were, of the labor strike, and everybody. This is where everybody feels it. Whether you're going to the airport or you're trying to travel out, and all of that. Of course, the power grid was shut down. I think it was about 2:19, 2:20. Yeah. You know, the light just went out. And I know some people who they've been in band A and they've been smiling very much. They're like, maybe today just one up. But I don't know if many people didn't think labor will go on with their threat of a strike, but. It's two things, right? This is the NLC page. If you just want to go down a bit, two reasons why they're going on strike. A new national minimum wage and hike in electricity tariff. Yeah. Why organized labor is striking. Those are the two reasons that were given. And then they go to something quite interesting. Can they deny this? Nigerian workers deserve better. A living wage is possible. And then they put down a Nigerian senator's earnings. And it makes for... a
very interesting read.
Yeah, it makes for solid reading because now it gets up to 20 in a month. What they have here is over 29 million, about 30 million, from basic salary to hardship allowance, which is 1.2 million. There's constituency allowance. Yeah. There's furniture allowance. There's newspaper allowance of 1.2 million. There's recess allowance,
Interesting. So the recess, I actually don't understand the recess.
There's accommodation, there's utilities, there's entertainment.
Wait, the recess, I'm not sure what the recess allowance is for. Like, so when you take a break, you get an allowance for taking a break?
There's PA.
Some people leave that way.
There's personal...
There's personal assistance. Can we take a break so I can get an allowance?
There's personal assistance. There's vehicle maintenance allowance. There's leave allowance, which is different from recess allowance. There's severance gratuity, and then there's motor vehicle allowance, which is different from car maintenance. You understand? And it all goes to 29 million. And the minimum wage is per month. And the minimum wage is 30,000 naira. So you can understand why there is this thing. And then there's a picture here from 1999 to 2004, the National Assembly budget as against the minimum wage. Side by side, it doesn't make for good reading. And so it gets up to the point where two things now yesterday, the meeting now, this was the resolution. Resolutions reached at yesterday's meeting with the federal government. Now this was dropped 2 hours ago. And they put it there. What they have here is that the federal government, in the national interest, convened a meeting with Labour held in the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. And after exhaustive deliberation and engagement by both parties, the following resolutions were reached. The President is committed to a national minimum wage that is higher than 60,000 naira. Arising from the above, the tripartite committee is to meet every day for the next 1 week with a view to arriving at an agreeable national minimum wage. And then Labour, in defense to the high esteem of the President and the Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, of Nigeria's commitment in above, undertakes to convene a meeting of its organs immediately to consider this commitment, and no worker will be victimized as a result of the industrial action.
So that's
immediately after that, they said, until we hear from our organs at our meeting scheduled for today, 4th of June, we're still on strike.
So that was actually one of the things I had issues with. So there are some people that had made the choice to go to work yesterday. And there were some people that, felt a little oppressed or victimized by the fact that, they couldn't do what they wanted. So they felt like they didn't have a choice. So them signing this saying that no worker will be victimized, I think, that was important to note. Because there are some people that work with daily wages. There are some people that if they don't go to work in a particular day, they don't get paid. And things have already become very tight. This funding is what is feeding their families, so to speak. So, yes, they are fighting the good fight, but there were some people that felt oppressed by some of the actions taken yesterday to stop people from going to work. That was one. Then I also saw another list. You were reeling out a list of minimum wage of top oil-producing African countries. And I was actually very surprised that Chad has 150,000 naira as their minimum wage. Cameroon is 105,000 naira. Angola is 58. DR Congo is 94,000 plus. Equatorial Guinea is 323,000. Now we have Libya at 313, Algeria at 226,000, Tunisia is 199,000, Egypt is even less than that, which is surprising, 194,000, and even Ivory Coast has 188,000 naira as their minimum wage. The only country that seems to have a minimum wage, according to this list anyway, is Sudan. So the two bottom countries here are Nigeria and Sudan. So it is something that we need to look into. But obviously, there are differences in the population and, of course, the means of each of these countries, but they are oil-producing countries.
Yeah, so the focus is on us. Winfrey, the major grouse has been what the senators, especially National Assembly, that has been as compared to the average normal Nigerian worker. The disparity. You understand? You'll be like...
You want me to enter?
You'll be like heaven and earth and all of that. Anyway, stay.
But this is what I have to say about this, right? Oh, great. Of course, oil-producing countries, blah, 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 and all of that, But you have correctly said, different population, different country size, different economic history, different factors affecting all of that. But then again, it's good to know where we rank on that list, considering that we're supposed to be the giants of Africa. That aside, now, I think what is more important that we look at is literally the disparity, as Mike is talking about. Because what I would like to know is one of the major people that are literally going to be affected by this increase will be government workers. I think that's one of the reasons maybe it is being fought so hard, because certain things will have to change. Now, let's talk about the senators and their allowances, right? And talk about the people affected by this. And let's not forget that most times, these people are literally working in the same environment. Now, what does that even tell you with regards to the way they even approach their work? As regards, okay, fine, the senator, he goes to the office where he's meant to work from, the people that probably his PA, the people are helping him administratively and all of that, they literally get paid peanuts. So even in a system where he literally is taking certain decisions that probably he shouldn't take, more or less, it just pushes, for me, I don't know how best to express it than slavery is just what's come to mind. Because automatically you have to react and respond to this person a certain kind of way, because in the end of the day, it just seems to me like a situation of, okay, we're eating the crumbs that literally fall off the master's table, which doesn't necessarily make sense, right? And then again, there also should be a dignity of labor. Nigerians are hard workers. These are things we actually say consistently. The idea of NLC asking for this money at this point is not because they're just trying to be outrageous. A lot of people say, okay, fine, it's not necessarily, I mean, it will cripple the economy. But then again, are the senators' allowances not crippling the economy already? Are certain things necessary? We're not saying, fine, they shouldn't give them allowances and all of that, but we're saying that it should be reasonable. It shouldn't be glaring that they're literally just taking us for granted and literally doing what they like.
It's obvious in every case and point that we are top-heavy. Yes, even if we're going to talk about it from a corporate standpoint, in any company, once you have a company that is top-heavy, that's the management, directors, the board, the responsibility now lies with the board and the directors to shed some weight.
And I feel the need to mention this, sorry to quote you, right? The issues that we are grappling with right now with regards to the prices of things in the markets, can we really say the people making these decisions to literally make these things happen, can we really say they're feeling it directly? No. Can we really say they're not? Because if you literally have that much money, even if bag of rice is 1 million, you can literally afford it. Fine, it will tick in your head a bit, but you can still afford it. The people that are literally dealing with this directly are not the ones that are making all the decisions. So we really need to sit down and figure out what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing.
We're definitely monitoring the developments. We're definitely going to be giving you all the updates as they come to us in subsequent episodes and bulletins, of course, in the news. But Mike, you were about to...
No, that's just it. Cost of, let's even go there, where a bag of rice is still higher than that 60,000.
Do you understand?
Yeah. So if we even get into cost of living, we're almost talking about 4 tomatoes, 1,000 naira, 4. How do you cook stew? How when you're eating so last night I had to eat stew and rice. I just say, so this I don't chop rich 4 tomatoes now.
Someone actually asked a lady that sells stew. She said they don't use tomato anymore. They use ingredients and condiments that look like tomato.
Yeah.
So, look,
we're talking about the health benefits now. Health catastrophe.
Look, we are calling out to all of them. You see, everywhere, top is too much.
We're top heavy.
When I saw recess allowance, they still leave allowance in a month. Oh.
Let's be
Me, I collect leave allowance once a year. There's a book.
You know what?
Let's know what you think. I know you are going. Just drop it in the comments. We'll be back after this time out.